actually matches Timothée Chalamet's creative soul? Well, today, we have 10 women who don't just match his star power. They match his artistic DNA. And even though some of them might already be in a relationship, maybe they can upgrade. Also, our number one pick has already shared a screen with him. Starting at number 10, Camila Cabello, two artists who grew up in public and came out the other side more themselves. That's the foundation here. Camila started as a teenager in a pop group and walked away to write music that was raw, personal, and completely her own. Timothy started as a kid doing commercials he hated, then spent years auditioning for roles he didn't get, until Call Me By Your Name changed everything. Neither of them took the easy road. Both of them chose a deep story over comfort. What's interesting is how Camila approaches songwriting. She pulls from her Cuban heritage, her heartbreaks, and her family. She doesn't write pop songs. She writes confessions. Timothy picks roles the same way. Every character he plays carries a piece of something real. That's not a coincidence. That's a creative philosophy. She's also moving into acting now, which means their worlds are getting closer. A pairing built on mutual artistic hunger tends to last, meaning these two would understand each other without having to explain much. Number 9. Doja Cat. Think of a kaleidoscope. Every time you turn it, the pattern is completely new, but it's still the same glass inside. That's Doja Cat's career, and honestly, it's Timothy's too. Doja reinvents herself with every era. She went from viral cat meme to rap royalty to a shaved head rock-influenced artist who doesn't ask anyone for permission. Timothy went from a teenage supporting role in Interstellar to Bob Dylan, Willy Wonka, and a Cannibal Drifter in the same decade. Both of them treat reinvention as a creative tool, not a survival strategy. They also share something most people overlook: fashion as storytelling. Timothy is the first solo man on the cover of British Vogue in its 106-year history, and Doja has turned every red carpet into a visual statement. Neither of them dress to fit in. Both of them dress to say something. Doja has said that she gets bored easily. So does every great artist. The ones who stay interesting are the ones who keep challenging themselves. These two would never let each other coast. Number 8. Tate McRae. Now, Tate is one of the most underrated pairings on this list, and here's why that matters. She started as a dancer, then became a singer, then became a performer who writes lyrics that feel like they were pulled from a journal nobody was supposed to read. Her choreography and her music carry the same emotional rawness that Timothy brings to silence on screen. The moment where he says nothing and you feel everything. Tate does that with movement. She's spoken about wanting her art to feel almost uncomfortably honest, not polished, not radio ready. Timothy has said the same thing about his choices. He gravitates towards stories that are hard to watch because they're too real. Beautiful Boy, Bones and All, A Complete Unknown. These aren't comfortable films. Both are quietly rewriting what it means to be young and famous right now. They're not chasing trends. They're setting a standard most people their age aren't ready to meet yet. And that takes us to number 7, Kiernan Shipka. This one is different from the rest on the list, and we should be honest about that. Timothy has publicly called Kiernan his little sister. That bond is already real and documented. But what makes her a creative match goes deeper than friendship. They both grew up on set. Kiernan was working on Mad Men before most kids her age had a career plan. Timothy was doing commercials at 8 and TV episodes at 13. Growing up inside the craft does something to a person. It either breaks you or it builds you into someone who understands storytelling at a cellular level. Both of them came out the other side as serious artists. Her work in Chilling Adventures of Sabrina showed a fearless range. She carried a supernatural drama on her shoulders for 4 seasons and made it feel grounded. That's the same skill Timothy brings to every genre he touches. He makes science fiction feel personal. He makes period pieces feel alive. The ability to anchor something big with something real is rare, and they both have it. Number 6, Sabrina Carpenter. Now, Sabrina is the only person on this list who could outcharm Timothy in a room, and that's saying a lot. She's a singer, an artist, and one of the sharpest comedic voices of our generation. Her short and sweet era showed a level of artistic confidence. Witty, assured, and a little dangerous. Timothy is drawn to people who refuse to be one thing, and Sabrina has never been one thing. there's also a classic Hollywood quality to her that feels out of time. Old glamour, modern edge. Timothée has that same quality. He belongs in a Fellini film and a Joff Shefty film simultaneously. And somehow, that makes complete sense. Her wit would balance his brooding intensity perfectly. Think of it as a grand piano and a jazz trumpet. Two distinct sounds that create something richer than either could do alone. Creative partnerships like that don't happen by accident. They happen when two people share the same commitment to making something worth remembering. Rolling to number 5, Dua Lipa. Two global icons who've decided their private lives belong to them. That's rarer than it sounds. Dua has spoken openly about meeting a partner who genuinely matches her ambition. Not someone who tolerates it, someone who lives at that same level. Timothée doesn't just meet that bar, he redefined it. Youngest winner of the SAG Award for Best Actor. 3 Academy Award nominations before 30. A work ethic that directors describe as almost obsessive. They also share a strong European cultural identity that shapes everything they create. Dua grew up between Kosovo, the UK, and Albania. Timothée splits his identity between New York and France, spending summers in a small French village as a child. Both carry that multicultural perspective into their art. It gives their work a depth that purely American or purely European artists rarely reach. Dua is not moving seriously into film. Their creative worlds are converging, and when they finally meet in that space, the result will be worth watching. Number 4, Sydney Sweeney. Now they are two of the most sought-after actors of their generation, and Sydney commits completely to every role she takes. She doesn't just play a character, she inhabits their whole world. Timothée works the same way. Directors describe both of them as fully transformative on set. Both are extremely hard workers. She moved from Euphoria to Anyone But You without missing a beat. He did the same thing, jumping genres, shifting tones, never resting. Two actors at the absolute top of their game, which makes them both special. But together, it would be electric. Number 3, Olivia Rodrigo. Now Olivia writes pain the way Timothée performs it, quietly, precisely, with nowhere to hide. Her breakthrough wasn't just a hit song. It was a cultural moment that immediately raised the bar for everything she did next. She pivoted from that moment into something harder, darker, and more musically complex. Timothée did the same thing after Call Me By Your Name. He could have stayed in romantic indie films forever, but he chose Cannibal Road Trips and Bob Dylan instead. She's talked about meeting her art to feel emotionally true above everything else. Not catchy, not safe. That's the same standard Timothée holds every role to. They both are already operating in the same creative circle, chasing the same kind of honesty, just in different rooms. Number 2, Anya Taylor-Joy. There's a quality some actors have that you can't teach and can't manufacture. You either carry it or you don't. And Anya carries it, and so does Timothée. She grew up between Argentina, the UK, and the United States. He grew up, as you know, between New York and France. Both of them know what it feels like to belong fully nowhere and partially everywhere. That outsider feeling doesn't go away. It becomes the lens you see everything through, and it shows up in every performance they give. Anya moves through roles the way a grandmaster moves through a game. 3 steps ahead, always in control, never what you expect her to be. The Queen's Gambit, The Menu, Furiosa. Timothée works the same way. Dune, Wonka, Marty Supreme. You never see the next move coming. They have never shared a screen. That feels like unfinished business. And a pairing this aligned doesn't stay hypothetical forever. And now number 1, Elle Fanning. Every pick on this list is built on creative parallel. Elle is built on creative proof. They already shared a screen in A Rainy Day in New York. The chemistry wasn't manufactured for a press tour. It was there in the work, visible and immediate. Elle has been acting since age 2, and you know Timothée was doing commercials at like 8. Both of them grew up entirely inside the craft. It shaped how they think, how they listen on screen, and how they disappear into a character completely. She's talked about choosing roles that genuinely terrify her, and Tim has said the exact same thing in almost the exact same words. That shared instinct isn't a talking point. It's a creative compass. Two artists who navigate by the same star can't end up in the same place. This isn't a pairing that looks good on paper. It already proved itself on film. Now comment which pairing you like the most. And when you're done doing that, click on my Jacob Elordi Perfect Match video. And I will see you on the next one.